Sometimes life has a way of knocking the wind out of you, unexpectedly and without warning. That's exactly what happened to me when my mother passed away. I'm recording today's intro on the anniversary of her death, and even now, the tears, sorrow, and pain remain. The other day, life knocked the wind out of me again. You'll understand why in just a moment. Over time, I've learned to find ways to steady myself. Whether through prayer, journaling, or simply walking in my yard, these practices help me regulate my emotions and find peace in life's storms. Life is fleeting, like a vapor that vanishes in an instant. As Moses reminds us in Psalm 90, verse 12, we should number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. The story you're about to hear is about someone who truly numbered his days and blessed everyone around him with the wisdom he gained. Will my adopted child be okay? What will their future look like? Where did I go wrong? Hi neighbor, I'm Tim, an adoptive parent and adoption mentor. If you're a struggling adoptive parent searching for answers in your parenting journey, you're in the right place. I teach Christian adoptive parents how to be okay, even when their kids aren't, by anchoring them in biblical principles. Anchors of hope and healing are on the way. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. Hi neighbor, today I'm coming to you from my outdoor studio. Just prior to hitting the record button, I've been walking in my yard and reflecting. Whenever I find myself upset or dysregulated, one of the things I have found that brings me back to center is to go for a walk. Today I realized I needed to go for a walk because yesterday I received some devastating news. I'll share more about that in just a moment. I began this episode with one of my favorite passages in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. It's the verse that I have used to coin the term anchors of encouragement. I've talked about anchors before on this podcast, but for those of you who are new to the show, I just want to reinforce this concept and introduce it to you. We all need anchors of encouragement in our lives. I believe there are multiple anchors of encouragement. The first one being the anchor of Scripture. As I mentioned, Proverbs 27 and verse 17 is one of my favorite passages. It's a passage I use to find support and encouragement. There are so many other passages that I refer to on this podcast that I use as an anchor point as I navigate the challenges of my parenting journey. A second anchor of encouragement that I have found very helpful in my parenting journey is what I call my furry anchors, my pets. When I'm in my house, my dog Ratchet doesn't leave my side. He follows me wherever I go. He's a constant companion to me. Outside today, I have another furry anchor. This is my cat, Buttercream. She is the daughter of one of my furry anchors, Amp, who sadly is no longer with us. Amp was first. He would join me on my walks and run up ahead of me and lay down in front of me and want me to pet him before I continued. His daughter has taken up the mantle and she has been walking with me today as well. So those are two examples of anchors of encouragement that I have in my life. The third being those individuals that are anchors to us. They are the people who support us, the people who encourage us, the people who draw near to us when we need someone to help us as we navigate the challenges of life, not just parenting, but just life itself. Those individuals are invaluable. I have many people like that in my life, and thankfully, those individuals have been there when I've needed support and encouragement during some of the darkest times in my life. That brings me to the news I received yesterday. Tragically, one of my anchors passed away suddenly. I'm still numb. I'm trying to process what just happened. It came out of nowhere. That's the reason I realized I needed to come outside and walk and reflect. And by doing so, I want to talk about my anchor, share some thoughts about him, and use this as an example to encourage you to find those individuals in your life who can be your anchors of encouragement, those individuals who can support you in the challenges you face in your parenting journey. Because my friend did. And he did on more than one occasion. For those of you who are regular listeners of this podcast, you know the story of my son Johnny. That at 17 years old, it became necessary for him to go to residential treatment. My friend came into the picture before Johnny went to residential. There were years where we were struggling to understand what we were dealing with, which we later came to find out was adoption trauma. But at the time, we didn't understand it. And we were struggling to navigate some of these challenges. My friend was there to offer support. I remember one incident in particular where we were trying to get Johnny some professional help, and I wasn't sure he was going to be receptive to it. So as a backup, I called my friend and said, "Can you come and help me get him to where we need to take him so he can get some help?" My friend dropped everything. He was there to support me and encourage me. As I said, that wasn't the only time he did so. When Johnny did go to residential, whenever we would visit him, it was a 4-hour trip one way to see him. It was a financial challenge for us, and my friend was aware of this. There were expenses for gas, for hotel lodging, not to mention the cost of daily treatment in residential. I remember one particular visit we were getting ready to head to see Johnny on, and my friend called me up before we left and said he wanted to meet us before we left because he and his wife had something for us. And so we met him just before we left, and they had put together a care package for us. Something simple. But they realized we would be driving all those hours. They realized that we had financial challenges to see this through. And so a simple care package encouraged us and supported us as we went to visit Johnny. They also understood the financial obligations of keeping him in residential. He was there for 6 months. My friend helped out with that, as did others. Other anchors of encouragement helped us financially. When Johnny finally graduated from residential after being there for 6 months, my friend wasn't done being the anchor of encouragement and supporting us. He also wanted to support Johnny. So he and his wife threw a graduation party. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but the way the residential program was structured, you graduated from the program once you went through all the different phases of it. And Johnny graduated. And so my friend and his wife threw a graduation party. It was a way to encourage him to use the tools that he was given, to offer him support, and to offer us support too, and encouragement. You know, you've gone through this. It's time to hit the reset button. Let's start with a clean slate and move forward. I'll never forget that. Unfortunately, a few weeks after graduation, Johnny started to revert to some of his bad habits. He was 17 when he went to residential. And when he turned 18, he decided that he didn't want to live under our roof anymore. He didn't want to live under our rules. He wanted to be out on his own. I remember the night he told me he was going to leave, and I encouraged him. I said, use your 10-10-10. I want you to sleep on this, and then tell me in the morning what you want to do. In the morning, he was determined to leave, and he did. We had planned a birthday party for him. And as he left with a friend, I remember handing him his birthday cake. My wife and I were devastated. That was one of the darkest days of my life. I don't know which was worse, leaving him in residential. At least I knew he was safe there. But when he left home at 18, I didn't know what to expect for him. I was scared for him. It was a hard time, a difficult day. I remember later on that afternoon, a car pulling up my driveway. It was my friend. I don't remember if we said much to each other. What I do remember is we sat there. We sat in my driveway. It's hard to explain when words aren't exchanged. The presence of someone who is there to encourage and support you speaks volumes. I was encouraged by the fact he was there. I felt supported. He didn't stop supporting me there. He was aware of the challenges we faced and would continue to face over the ensuing years. He was always there to encourage me. He was always there to support me. The last memory I have of my friend was him walking his daughter down the aisle. We were invited to his daughter's wedding. We were honored to be there to celebrate this union. And I remember how happy he was to walk her down the aisle. It's been a few weeks since that wedding, and we reached out to see if they wanted to go out to lunch. Unfortunately, they were out of town, but we had every intention of getting together as soon as they were back. And that's when the news from yesterday came. There won't be any more lunches with him. There won't be any more interaction. What I have now are my memories of someone who encouraged me and supported me and helped me get through some of the most challenging days of my parenting journey. I want to encourage you to find those individuals in your life who will be your anchors of encouragement, those individuals who will support you, those individuals who will draw near to you. We all need those individuals in our lives to help us navigate these challenges. And if you have those individuals in your life, make sure they know how much they mean to you, because they can be taken away from you at a moment's notice. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. I'm sad my friend is gone. I'm hurting that he is gone, but I'm happy that he has received his reward. Until we meet again, Shannon. My thoughts and prayers are with Shannon's wife, Dana, and the entire family. Though there will be tears, sorrow, and pain now, Shannon knew that one day God will wipe away every tear. That's all for this episode. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now. I hope today's episode encouraged you to face the storms in your parenting journey with courage and confidence. If so, would you please share this episode with another adoptive parent? It would also bless me in the mission of this podcast if you would take a couple of minutes and leave a review for the show on Apple Podcast. Until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now.